If you're falling behind in your business, even though you're busy and working hard, you could be failing because you're busy doing the wrong thing. You work hard, you push, you grind, but the scary truth is this. The biggest threat to your success is doing the second most important thing, while the first most important thing gets delayed or just completely ignored. In this video, I'm going to show you why doing good work can secretly stop you from making real progress, and why the small wins can block you from getting those big wins that can change your life, your money, and your future. By the end of this video, you'll know how to find your real number one problem, the thing that if you fix it gives you a 2x, 3x, even 10x return, not just those tiny little upgrades that you've been getting. And so my first point is this. It's the trap of fixing all of the problems. Why is it a trap? It is a trap to fix every problem. And the point is this. Most people don't work on their biggest problem. They work on the one that feels safe. And the reason why it feels safe is because it's the one that they know how to fix. And so they work on the thing that they know how to fix. Now, if you work on a thing that you know how to fix, then why do you think that there was ever a problem anyway? And don't you think that the things that you know how to fix, if you already know how to fix them, they're probably not that big of a problem. The big problems are the one you don't know how to fix. And so the reason why people shy away from those things, those big problems, the ones that they don't know how to fix, is because you have to think. It requires thinking. It requires trying things. It requires hard work. And we don't want to work that hard. Like, actually, the hard work is not necessarily always physical. It's the thinking. Like, it takes hard work. It's the hard work that you don't want to do, because we'd rather do manual things that are hard than thinking really hard. And thinking real hard can make you have greater progress. And so we do the small things, and that those small things only give us a small return. Think about Blockbuster. They kept working on second best problems. They kept working on store layouts and adding candy by the checkout and running small promotions. They kept working on things that were safe, things that were simple, just easy things to do. All while the focus should have been on the real threat. What was the real threat at that time? Digital streaming. And digital streaming was the number one problem that they should have been working on. But instead of working on that, they worked on other things that they knew how to solve. And they didn't tackle their number one constraint, because their number one constraint became streaming. And that's why Netflix took off and Blockbuster are no longer in business. And so they failed to see that the future was online. And they kept doing those small little things that they knew how to do. And by the time they finally looked up, it was too late. And here's the takeaway. Don't get caught in the trap of fixing a bunch of problems that won't solve the biggest problem. Solve the biggest problem. And if you oftentimes, 99% of the time, if you solve the biggest problem, all the small problems tend to go away. Point number 2, small wins distract you from big wins. A little win can be the biggest loss. Doing the second most important thing makes you feel productive. You feel productive by knocking out all these things that are second, third, fourth, fifth most important. And you only get a 20 to 30% bump, and you feel proud about it. But again, you miss the 2x, 3x, even 10x breakthrough that you could have if you focus on solving the problem that is the most important thing. Point number 3, unknown solutions feel scary, and that's why they matter. The thing that you avoid often is the thing that you need to do the most. Your number one problem is usually the one you don't know how to fix yet. And you avoid it because it's scary. Your team avoids it because it's confusing. And so everyone just goes back to doing the stuff that they already know how to do. In psychology, there's this concept called the comfort loop. It's where people repeat the same actions over and over and over again because their brain likes the safe path. Like it's a safe path. Their brains know it, and because your brain is always trying to find the safest, easiest path. And so you get caught up in the comfort loop. And a group of researchers once studied people learning a new skill. And for those people that were learning a new skill, once things got hard, people switched to doing easier tasks, even though the hard task was the one that actually helped them grow. They still automatically try to switch over to doing easier tasks. The takeaway is this: your brain loves the second best thing because it feels safe. But growth lives in the unknown. Growth lives in doing the number one best thing, the hardest thing. That's where the growth comes from. My fourth point is this: fix one constraint, then move on to the next. You can't move 10 mountains at once, but you can move one mountain, and the one mountain that's blocking the road. And so don't try to do everything at once, is what I'm trying to say. Anything that is not your number one constraint is stealing time from you that you could be using to really move the needle in your favor. And so pick the number one biggest problem that you have, go all in on fixing that problem. Then and only then can you move on to the next. Again, think about Steve Jobs returning to Apple. Apple has dozens of products, dozens of problems, dozens of distractions. Steve Jobs came in and cut almost everything. He said there are only 4 things that matter. Everything else is getting cut. And by focusing on the single biggest constraint, which was for them focus. Focus was their biggest constraint. They were so distracted with all these things. The thing that their biggest problem was their lack of focus. And so once they got focused, Steve Jobs turned a company that was dying into one of the most valuable brands on earth. The takeaway here is focus is not just a habit, it's a weapon. One fix at a time, one fight at a time, that's how you win. If you're tired of guessing, if you're tired of working hard but not breaking through, if you want to know your real number one constraint, the thing that can finally give you a big win, the big win that you've been chasing, then join the Millionaire Makers Network. It's a community built for entrepreneurs and business owners who want clarity, confidence, and massive growth. Inside, you'll get real support, real strategy, and a room full of people who think like you, build like you, and want to grow like you. Click the link below in the description and join us. Let's find your number one constraint and unlock your next level of growth. That's all I have for you in this video. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.